Good morning, everyone. We'll start in a couple minutes. Good evening, I should say. Council members Legloahec and Briner, you're, I think, the only council members here. Is that also your take? Yeah, okay. We'll try to start in a minute if we have 2 minutes, if we have a quorum. Thank you, Mr. Brayman. Mr. Hamilton, welcome.
Mayor, Councilmember Tansey is here, so we do have quorum.
Excellent. All right, let's just wait. I think that takes us up to 1 more minute. I'm going to toggle over to the agenda. Oh, there it is. Gotcha. I just had to swipe screens. All right, my clock says 7:30. So I am Michael Watson. I'm the mayor of the town of Cheverly, and I hereby call to order the December town meeting for the 18th of December, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Let us first call the roll, and then we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. I am here. Town Administrator Galloway is here. The Chief of Police is here. Mr. Brayman is here. The Deputy Chief of Police is here. And I was looking for the town attorney. I do not see him, but I suspect he will be here shortly. Mr. Pounds and or Mr. Deloach. Then I will call the roll for the council. Is the council member from Ward 1 here yet? Ward 2? John is here. Okay. Let me turn my volume back up. Council member from Ward 3?
Present.
Ward 4?
Present.
Ward 5? Ward 6? Okay. We will...
Mayor, Councilmember Fry is in the attendees. She still needs to be promoted, but she's here.
Oh, let me try to do that before I go on with my... Oh, there's Mr. Deloach. And I don't see Councilmember Fry there, so I think she's already been promoted. Councilmember Fry, are you here?
Present.
Excellent. So we are missing Councilmember Wade and Garces. We will keep an eye out for them. Seeing a quorum is present, sufficient to conduct business, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next item of business is the approval of the agenda. Council, including Mr. Galloway, our non-voting council member, are there any changes to the printed agenda?
No, sir.
Hearing no changes, is there a motion from the council?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Vice Mayor Briner, seconded by Councilmember Tansey. Is there any discussion from the council about the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed say no.
Aye.
Any abstentions? No abstentions and no noes. The ayes have it. I believe that was 4-0 with Wade and Garces absent. Moving on to the consent agenda. Item 4 on the agenda, which consists of the town meeting minutes for the 13th of November and the work session minutes from the 4th of December 2025. Is there a motion from the council to approve the consent agenda? Tansy, your microphone's open.
I know. I was looking for anyone else. I motion to approve the consent agenda. I move to approve the consent agenda.
I recognize that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Wow. Thank you, Vice Mayor Briner. Motioned by Councilmember Tansy, seconded by Vice Mayor Briner. Is there any discussion of the motion to approve the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no. Any abstentions? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved 4-0 unanimously with Wade and Garces not present. Let me just check. Sorry, I got to click over and make sure that no one is waiting. None of them are waiting as non-panelists, but I can't do that. So if someone else can do that, I would appreciate it. All right, and now I can't find the agenda. So we will, there it is. I had to get out of the screen. No, it went away again. Admin, there it is. Okay, we are at item 5 on the agenda now, resident input. This is an opportunity for any member of the public to offer any comment or suggestion to the mayor and council. I would ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes and that you do not speak on any of the underlined items on the agenda, items 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, because those items have individual resident input under them. Are there any members of any residents or other members of the public who would like to offer input at this time? I cannot see any hands, so someone please let me know if I should recognize someone.
Yes, you should.
Okay, let us start with Miss Sallow. Name and ward, and you have 3 minutes.
Sheila Salo, Ward 2. To everyone, best wishes for all our holidays. And now an invitation to everyone in town. Do you like to learn and help others learn about Cheverly's air, water, trees, and other plants? Would you like to help incorporate that knowledge into recommendations to the Cheverly Mayor and Council? Do you want to create projects that help implement Cheverly's green infrastructure plan? Do you like to work with like-minded neighbors? Well, the Cheverly Green Infrastructure Committee has a place for you. In the new year, we will collaborate with other Cheverly groups on planning events, including the Cheverly Day Parade. We will be following developments, including Hospital Hill, the annexation plan, and the County Master Plan of Transportation. Join us at any of our monthly meetings. We meet virtually the first Monday of every month. You can find the agenda and Zoom link at www.greencheverly.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salo, for that input and for sharing the URL again. That's very helpful. Are there other members of the public who would like to offer input on any issue that's not underlined on the agenda? Going once. We only have 2 attendees. I don't see any hands up. Going twice. Not seeing any further input or residents seeking to make input, we will continue on with the agenda. And the next item I'm trying to load on the agenda. Is it being shared? Hold on. There we go. Oh, it disappeared again. Hold on.
Mayor, I just want to let you know I'm on the call now. It's Councilmember Wade.
Thank you, Councilmember Wade. Let the minutes reflect that Councilmember Wade joined us at 7:38 p.m. We were just getting started, as you probably guessed. Okay, my agenda keeps popping off. Can someone tell me what the next item is on the agenda? John, you look like you might know.
Committee reports, Mayor.
Committee reports. Thank you, Mr. Galloway, for that assist. Which one of our committees would like to start? Councilmember Wade, do you want a moment before you go to the Rec Council?
No, fine. I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Just reporting the holiday celebration was truly amazing. Thank you to the American Legion for allowing us to pivot because of the floors and everything in the gym. It was a success. Everyone came out. A special shout out to you, Mayor, for being Santa. Everyone truly enjoyed that, including myself. But everyone had a great time. Thank you again to the Rec Council and everyone that volunteered to make it truly a success. And we're looking to meet in the calendar new year to go over not only the traditional things that we do, flagship projects, but also some upcoming new things in the future. Yield back.
Thank you, Councilmember Wade, for that. Are there any questions for Councilmember Wade or for the Rec Council from Council?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that there was a recent change in leadership. Have they gone through the vote for the new, not permanent, I guess, but for the new term person?
That was thank you, Councilmember Fry. That was a discussion that was among individuals. So we will, again, address that in the new year. As of now, Carrie has taken on that particular role until further notice, and we will discuss that, and I will bring that back to the council.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Wade? Hearing none, is there a Cheverly Day Committee report?
Report at this time.
Great. And when is Cheverly Day? It is September 26th.
9/26/26.
Yes, sir. 9/26/26. Thank you for that. Council Member Tanzi, is there a report from the Planning Board?
Sure, though it will be brief. We did not have quorum, but we still had a presentation from someone from Home Team 5 in response to the questions we had submitted to them. The chair or acting chair, Carlo, got a copy of those responses. I'm going to be having a meeting with chair and co-chair to go over the responses to see if the written response is different than what was verbalized, and I will report the result of that meeting to the mayor and council so we can coordinate a follow-up meeting. Reason I say it in that order is there didn't seem to be anything worth having a follow-up meeting on as of yet, because some of the answers were, still awaiting some further action for the answer to be full enough for us to continue to comment on. So once we've gone over that, me and the chair and co-chair, I will try to prepare something for the mayor and council so you can be aware of where things stand.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Councilmember Tanzi? Not hearing any. Councilmember Tansey, I believe, or I'd like to ask you maybe to bring to us in January some text for a recognition resolution for the outgoing chair.
Yes, thank you. That's on my to-do list. I'll try to make sure I have it by January.
Thank you, sir. Is there a report this evening from the Board of Election Supervisors? Seeing none, is there a report from the Ethics Commission? Seeing none, is there a report from the Hometown Heroes? Mr. Galloway, this is usually you.
Yes, sir. There is a report. And Ms. Yvonne, if you can share the screen. Mayor and Council, tonight I will be making a recommendation for hometown heroes that have been submitted and that have been verified by the Hometown Heroes Committee. And these have all been Cheverly residents. So first one we have is Sergeant Arthur Lee Martin. He is an Army veteran. The next one we have is James Crawford, a Navy veteran. Of course, we have Mr. Fred Price, who was a part of the Marines Corps. He was a veteran of that. And then we have Mr. Glenn Woody Reinhardt, who was an Army veteran. So these people have been vetted through the process, and the Hometown Heroes Committee make the recommendation that we can move forward with getting their banners and putting them in the designated locations.
Thank you for handling that, sir. Are there any questions from council for Mr. Galloway about the Hometown Heroes nominations?
Not a question, Mayor, just a comment as the council member that sits on that committee. I just want to commend the entire team, Ms. Yvonne as well, for her taking on that. And this is, again, amazing thing that we've taken on, and we truly appreciate the town and the committee for their taking on this particular task.
Yes, thank you for that. I echo all those sentiments. It is the staff have carried the burden of this and have really not only done a tremendous amount of work, but done a tremendous job empowering the volunteers who brought this forward in the first place. And so it's a great example of collaboration. But we know that staff workload is not solely borne by Mr. Galloway. So thank you to the entire team who have tried to make this happen. Any other questions or comments for Mr. Galloway about this initiative? All right, hearing none, I'll move on to the next agenda item, which I believe is the closed session.
Mayor, can I get a motion in a second for that?
Oh, okay. I was also going to ask you if you needed. Okay, so the town administrator is proposing that these four individuals for formal recognition through the program. Is there a motion from the council to approve these four nominations?
I move to approve these nominations.
All right, I'm going to go with Tansey on the motion and Fry, I think I heard on the second. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. I think that was a yes. I think all are in agreement. The motion is on the floor to approve these four nominations. It's been made and properly seconded. Is there any council discussion of the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Any abstentions? That is unanimous. And I believe it is 6-0 because I believe Councilmember Garces joined us. Is that correct? No one, we don't see him.
Not that I've seen that yet.
All right, we'll put that in the record book. I thought he had joined, but now that I click over, I do not see him. So we're going to put that in the record book as 5-0, unanimous with Councilmember Garces absent. All right, let me go back. Unless there's any other business on that item, I'm going to move on to the closed session summary. Very good. All right, so I will now read the closed session fair summary for December 4th, 2025. On December 4th, 2025, the mayor and council of the town of Cheverly voted unanimously to convene a closed session pursuant to Maryland Code 3101 of the General Provisions Article Open Meetings Act. The closed session was convened at the conclusion of a special meeting following a work session by motion made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember Fry. The vote was unanimous by those present. Councilmember Garces was absent for the vote to hold a closed session for the following 4 reasons. Number 1, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals, cited in the law as 3305B1. The second reason is to consider the acquisition of real property for a public purpose and matters directly related thereto, cited in the law as 3305B3. The third reason is to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice, cited in the law as 3305B7. And the fourth reason to close the meeting was to consult with staff consultants or other individuals about potential or pending litigation, 3305B8. Those present in the closed session were the mayor and council. Garces left the meeting at 11:01. Delane Galloway, town administrator, for part of the meeting. Jason Deloach, Esquire, and Todd Pounds, Esquire, town attorneys, with Mr. Pounds present for property acquisition and litigation discussions. During the closed meeting, the mayor and council received legal advice from Attorney Pounds on how to move forward with the annexation timeline based on representations from the developer and he answered legal questions. Mr. Galloway discussed 2 properties for potential acquisition by the town. There was discussion about the pros and cons of acquiring the properties. Attorney Pounds provided legal options on the potential acquisitions. No decision was made on the issue. Attorney Deloach provided an update on potential litigation involving the town based on correspondence received. Attorney Deloach provided guidance on filing a potential lawsuit on a current matter. There was discussion on the facts supporting the potential litigation. No decisions were made. Mr. Galloway provided an update on 2 matters related to 2 specific employees. Mr. Galloway also provided an update on quotes received for a personnel-related matter. Mr. Galloway also discussed and requested special year-end recognition for 4 employees and recognition for all staff. A motion was made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember Wade. The motion passed unanimously. The mayor and council completed a performance evaluation of an employee and discussed next steps in the evaluation process. A motion to adjourn the closed meeting was made by Councilmember LeGloahec and seconded by Councilmember Fry. The motion passed unanimously by those present. The closed session ended at approximately 11:04 p.m. That concludes the fair summary of the closed meeting of the Cheverly Mayor and Council for December 4th, 2025. The next item on the agenda is item 8R625, the Planning Board Appointments Resolution. Mayor Watson will accept the recommendations to appoint Lane Thompson to the Planning Board and read the resolution appointing Brian Barnett Woods and Lane Thompson. So let me scroll through my packet to the resolution. Resolution R625, a resolution of the mayor and council of the town of Cheverly appointing new members to the planning board. Whereas the town of Cheverly has established a planning board to advise the mayor and council on land use, zoning, development, and other planning matters within the town. And whereas the planning board plays a vital role in shaping the future growth and development of the town in a manner consistent with the community's goals and values. And whereas the mayor and council desire to appoint a qualified and dedicated resident to serve on the planning board. And whereas Carlos Silberger has expressed interest in serving on the planning board and has demonstrated a commitment to the Cheverly community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and council of the town of Cheverly, Maryland, that 1, Brian Barnett Woods and Lane Thompson are hereby appointed to serve as members of the Cheverly Planning Board. 2, this appointment shall take effect immediately upon adoption of this resolution. And 3, Brian Barnett Woods and Lane Thompson shall serve in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in the town code and applicable planning board procedures. As I believe this item is underlined on the agenda, I will ask any council members who would like to comment on this, or any members of the public to comment on this before I ask the council for a motion. Is there any desire by anyone at this meeting to comment on this resolution? I do not see any hands up from anyone on or off the council. Seeing no public input, I will ask the council for a motion, and then we can, if you would like, debate the resolution.
To accept this resolution of the mayor and council for appointing Brian Barnett Woods and Lane Thompson to the planning.
Second.
Councilmember Glowack motion to adopt resolution R625, and it was seconded by Vice Mayor Briner. Is there any discussion by the council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Say no. Any abstentions? The resolution passes 6-0 unanimously, and I believe we will record 7:50 p.m. as the arrival time of Councilmember Garces. If I have that wrong, please correct the record. But he is here and he voted for this, so it is 6-0 on this resolution. Let us now. Oh,
That is correct, Mayor. Sorry.
thank you, sir. I was just trying to scroll back to my. Okay. Next on the agenda is item 9, the Keller update. Mr. Galloway or Mr. Brayman, do you have any framing comments, or shall we go directly to the representative from Keller and our consultant from CPJ?
Yeah, I'm going to kick this over to Mr. Brayman.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Mr. Hamilton is here tonight representing Keller. He was given a report by Mr. Wallace, who usually has been representing recently. I wanted to let Mr. Hamilton introduce himself and maybe jump in the project with us, if that's all right.
Hey, good evening, all. My name is Tom Hamilton. I'm the Executive Vice President for Keller. Can you guys hear me? I'm battling the holiday cold that I think one of my kids brought home. So forgive me if you can't hear me.
All good, Tom. Go ahead.
Okay. So my team did share an update with Delane and Steve. I believe I just wanted to make sure that you guys received that. Are there any questions that you guys have before we dive in?
Can you go over the update? And then is there any way that you can share the screen?
Let me see what I can figure out here. Give me 1 second. Share. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes. Project update, Cheverly DPW.
Okay, this was the update that was provided yesterday to the town. So a couple of things to highlight here, which I'm sure is on everybody's mind, is when we're going to be able to get the use and occupancy. Right now, that is really being driven by the elevator inspection. So we've received a partial inspection on our fire alarm and our sprinkler. The final comes along with the elevator, which is at the mercy of scheduling with the state. Right now, it's scheduled for the 29th, and we have our building final scheduled for the 30th. Now, leading up to that, we have a couple things to get resolved. There was an issue that arose yesterday or the day before with one of the mechanical units. The part was ordered and is being installed on Monday. Let me make sure I got the right. It's scheduled for Monday, so we have called in our mechanical final for Tuesday. And the other issue that we have is the plumbing final, which is being driven by the exhaust flue for the pressure washer that was added. Kelly did not have an update for that, so we owe that to you guys. But the expectation is that will be installed, inspected, and finalized prior to the elevator date of the 29th, and then we are tracking our building final for the 30th.
Mr. Hamilton, maybe if you'd continue with the AV and CCTV installation.
Sure. So this I'm not as familiar with. I believe there's some added components that now have been finalized. So everything was placed on order yesterday. We are expecting an 8-week lead time and then a 5-week for installation. Obviously, the council room is the top priority, so we're going to focus our efforts there and work on that room first, and then finish the AV and closed caption television in the rest of the building immediately thereafter. And then I know my team's working on assembling a completion list, which we expect to distribute tomorrow.
Mr. Brayman, did you have anything additional at this time?
Well, maybe just to point out some concerns here. We've asked, and Mr. Galloway actually sent off to Mr. Wallace recently an email explaining that we've been trying for some time to understand long-term lead items.
Okay.
And so this AV delay, or the time for delivery, as well as the time for installation, has us into March at this point, possibly mid-March. And so we've expressed our concerns with that. And additionally, too, that we did not receive that on the request for the long-term lead items previously. So that's something that I believe is new since the last update to the mayor and council. While we are trying to see if we have a workaround, I'm not sure what the installation in the mayor and council room is going to look like. But we are trying to see if we can find a workaround to have a meeting in the building sooner. I do not have a solution for you at this point. But I wanted to point that out so to be as transparent as possible. And I guess I just would, like to say, without reiterating what I mentioned the last time, and Mr. Hamilton, I believe this is your first time with us. I believe the mayor and council, Mr. Galloway, myself, CPJ, the entire town is concerned and frustrated and disappointed. And instead of trying to harp on that, I just wanted to, something that I've been saying in many of the meetings that we've been in with Keller is that originally I recommended the design build and recommended Keller to the team because we were looking for Keller to help us out, not just as a general contractor, but actually for looking out for our best interest throughout this, including the delays and things that we were making the best decisions throughout the project. And so that seems to be more difficult to see in these past recent weeks that I've been back involved daily. And so Robin may have some additional items to add, but I certainly want you to understand that. Possibly in your position, you might be able to even help us out further by getting more involved in this project and understanding our frustrations with that. Sometimes it feels like it's more of a general contractor where maybe the town, the town needed to be advised in a different way or advised of this. And so I wanted to bring that to your attention tonight. This is my first and last building. This is the biggest building that the town has built, the biggest project to date. And we certainly were looking for Keller to, not that we don't know anything, but to hold our hand throughout this. And that's getting more and more difficult as time goes on.
Yeah, and I understand your frustration, and I think it's very valid. To be brutally honest, I think there's plenty of blame to go all the way around, and including on our side of the fence. We have had several missteps that certainly led to some more struggles that were quite honestly unacceptable. And I am in the process right now with my team to digging into and trying to find out what went wrong. Not that I can change the past, but I can certainly make sure that what we're doing in the future is meeting or exceeding your expectations. So I do empathize with your frustration, and I actually share your frustrations with my team and how everything has happened.
Mayor, if I can.
Yeah, let's go to Mr. Galloway, and then Robin, if you have any thoughts to share, if you could jump in after Mr. Galloway.
All right, Tom, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. I have a question. As far as the hierarchy of the organization, where do you fit in at?
The only person above me is Philip Keller, who's the owner.
Okay, so, all right, great to know. All right, with that being said, can you start attending the meetings that we have on a weekly basis with this project?
When are they scheduled?
Well, I'll tell you what, we can email you outside of here, but we definitely want you to be a part of those meetings, just because I want to make sure that we continue to move forward. Okay.
Sure. You want results, and I respect that. Absolutely.
And with that being said, did you get a chance to view the email that I sent in earlier this week?
Not sure which one you're referring to.
So I pretty much laid out in the email from July until now, we've been asking for this list.
Okay.
But also, there was also a section in there from, I think, a September meeting, could have been an August meeting, where a representative from your company indicated that we would be in this building before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Way past Thanksgiving now. However,
Sure.
I'm assuming that the fact that we would have been in that building, that means that AV would have been installed, microphones, cameras, etc. That's what we were led to believe.
Okay.
The fact that we have to wait 8 weeks plus to get cameras, microphones, the mayor and council. I guess what I'm hearing is not from you, but from earlier in the week. Mayor and council can't have a meeting inside of the council chambers until maybe March or April. That sucks. That really does, because this was one of the reasons why, we got the facility, why we built the second floor was for this. Okay. Can you all provide a temporary solution until the permanent solution comes in? I think that would do a lot of goodwill for the mayor and council and the community. This has been something that we've been anticipating for a very long time. And, this is an embarrassment for the town. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. We had an open house with family members that flew in from Hawaii and California, thinking that this building would have been open by now, back in September, right? And the building still isn't open. So whatever type of push you can help us do, we would be more than appreciative. Your approach tonight has been completely different than what we've been used to. So
Okay.
maybe you need to attend these calls on a weekly basis, because we're not going anywhere. So thank you for jumping on tonight.
Agreed.
And I look forward to working with you to close this project out in a timely fashion.
Absolutely. And I mirror that. I'm not going anywhere either. Keller's not going anywhere either. We're here to stand up and do what's right. And I took a note here about your suggestion for a temporary solution for the AV. I will instruct my team to start working on that immediately. We're going to need to work together with the town to figure out what the needs are and how we'll be able to achieve something that will be satisfactory to the town.
Thank you.
Ms. Barnhart, anything to add?
Sure. I don't have anything to add on the AV or the UNO discussion already. I think Mr. Brayman and Mr. Galloway has covered that in depth. But I do know that one other topic that we've had that's been of concern to the council has been ensuring that we have ball fields of appropriate length. The town had provided me the documentation during design where that was communicated and was being rolled into the design when they were setting the building and the walking path to ensure that we did provide that 190-foot length field. We provide that information to the Keller team. At our last council meeting, which was 2 weeks ago on the 4th, the update I provided then was that it was my understanding that KCI was preparing a proposal for Keller, which I thought was to stake out the corners of the fields so that we could prove in field that we have 190-foot length fields. As of the meeting we had yesterday, the status meeting, that's still my understanding of where it's sitting. So I don't have any further update than that, but I just want to let you know that it has not fallen off the radar, and we are still working to get that information from the Keller KCI team.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, we are waiting on a proposal from KCI to do some surveying just to verify the size of the baseball field there that's directly adjacent to the back of the building.
Yes, and at the meeting yesterday, I asked Kelly to confirm that that whatever costs for that is not going to be transferred to the town, since we're just asking for verification.
Sure. Yep. That's logical. Yes. Especially if it was conveyed to us that that's the expectation, the building should have been designed that way.
And just so it's clear, Mr. Hamilton, the concern is that the grade is off. It's less that there's not enough space. Exactly. Okay. If you look as you're coming down the hill from the town hall to the new public works building, where the fence was that sort of divided the field from the construction, there's a fairly obvious grade there starting at where that fence was. And so the question was, is there 190 feet plus whatever you need on, immediate periphery of a field, and more, does that now bleed over to the edge where if you think that the field ends right on that line or just beyond it, then it's not a functional field of 100.
Because, so if I understand correctly, that's the right field, if I'm thinking properly, it's the right field side. You're saying that the grade drops off.
Yeah, now it's mostly the soccer field. So there's a sort of funny combo, and Robin hopefully can share what I'm referencing. But you see baseball fields on the corners and soccer fields in between.
The soccer field was in between,
like U9 or something.
Those batting cages. We put the temporary batting cages on all the way at the back, so the soccer field's in the center.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And so you can see the design for the land use, and it shows the dimensions. So we need to make sure we have that full space and that it's actually straight, because the path is not perfectly straight on the far side, the town side. And so we need to make sure we actually have enough space for it to function as a field, and not be either after a point where the grade has changed, or some corner of it is on the walking path, which is what we're trying to make sure we have all the corners, because if you measure it at just one place, it can look like it fit, but then if you go 10 feet down, it's gotten a tiny bit narrower.
Yeah, because that walking path is not straight.
Yep. Exactly.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, if I may say, with the fields, that was a critical component from the first discussions. The Boys and Girls Club actually worked directly with us and directly with Keller. There was actually a community meeting that was referenced to. They shrunk the requirements and agreed to work with younger youth with those fields. And so we've heard it's out of the LOD, not in the scope. Many of the plans actually represent this. And so the building needed to be placed and built such that the fields were viable. And that's the challenge.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, that was the expectation, so we need to verify that.
And there's some other specifics that maybe we could get into offline, about these inverts and their height, how they were built, and different things that may or may not be affecting this as well.
Okay. Yep.
So if I understood correctly, the only thing standing between us and the UNO, which is, again, the UNO is when Mr. Brayman can begin to move his team in and try to begin his operations from the site. The only thing holding us back at this point is the elevator. Is that accurate?
Yes and no. There's several inspections the elevator is the furthest one out. We have Tuesdays our mechanical final. We've had partial fire alarm and sprinkler inspections, but they have to, in order to get the final, they do it alongside with the elevator. The elevator has to recall. There's some things that tie together. And then once that's done, then we can get our building. The other one is the plumbing final, which is predicated on that exhaust flue for the pressure washer. That I need to get an update from my team. We owe you guys an update on where we are with obtaining the flue, so we can get that installed and get the final. All of that, the expectation is done prior to the 29th, which is the elevator final, and then our building final on the 30th.
And if I may as well, some of the punch list items. So for instance, the concrete in between the covered parking and the building itself has had significant, if not severe, flaws in it.
Okay.
We've sent in our opinion. We haven't heard a response on that, but the bottom line is that started cracking.
This is the cracked concrete.
Yes, and the cracks are continuing, and this was even before you could come in and cut where the cracks may have happened. So why I'm pointing this out is that's on the punch list. Some of the punch list items we may need cured before we move in. If you're replacing, which we've asked to replace significant amounts, if not the entirety of that concrete, it'd be very difficult, if not impossible, for us to conduct operations.
Understood.
If basically the driveway is not there.
Understood.
Council, any further questions for Tom or for Robin? Okay, we'll look forward to seeing you at our January 8th town meeting, which, whether or not it's in the building, hopefully there'll be a UNO for the building, and Mr. Brayman's team will be, hopefully moving in and beginning their operations there, and the mayor and council will not be too far behind for our meetings. But at any rate, our next meeting is on the 8th of January, and we look forward to another update from Keller at that time. Are there any members of the public who have any comments to make about the construction project? I do not see any.
Mayor,
go ahead.
Well, Tom, next week, if you want to drop by the town hall, we'll be more than happy to take you around and show you what some of our concerns are, and we can show you the grading matter that we're.
Okay. Yeah, I will get that lined up so we can make sure that it works with our schedules, but I will be down there.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Anyone have any further questions or comments for Keller? All right, hearing none. Thank you, Mr. Hamilton, Ms. Barnhart, as always, for being our eyes and ears and expertise on the ground. And we will continue to try to make some form of lemonade out of lemons. And thank you
all.
And thank you, Mr. Brayman, for continuing to drive this. I don't even know what it is. This stone up the hill. Okay, that concludes that agenda item. I think that takes us to the budget adjustments requested by the town administrator. Do you want to brief us, Mr. Galloway, and then we will open it up to comments?
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just to give you an update on this budget amendment, we're asking for a $29,400 increase for the purchase of the installation of new cameras along the Trent Street corridor. We're also asking for an increase of $12,000 for new bleachers for the gym. That would be to supplement the funds that we have received from the Project Charged Award, which will make the bleachers electric and more durable for the type of use that we have. So we will be receiving a $50,000 project charge award, and it is about 11,400 and some odd dollars. That gives the town about a $600 contingency for that. So that's why I'm asking for 12,000. With that being said, the funds for the amount will come out of the fund balance and into the general fund.
Okay, and so council, to clarify, I think our latest best guess for the current fiscal year budget is a deficit of about 384. So these adjustments, which I think are the first ones that we've made this budget year, unless I'm forgetting something.
It is the first one.
Then great. Oh, that's good news. We've always been pretty good about that, but you guys have been great about it. So at 384, this takes us slightly over 400,000 for the projected deficit, at least at this time, as best we can tell, to about 415 or so, if I did the math right. Are there any members of the council or the public who would like to offer any comment on this proposal before I ask for a motion?
I'll just give, for people who aren't familiar, Trent Street had cameras. Unfortunately, the company that we were using for those cameras went under. I don't know the particulars of that, but it unfortunately rendered the cameras no longer useful to us. And so my understanding is that this budget would allow us not only to replace the cameras, but to replace them with something that does not suffer that same risk, that we would be able to either go with a much long running company that we can trust will continue to serve our interests for years, and I mean more than that, decades, whatever the lifetime of a camera is, but also that we'd be able to integrate it into our system so that it would become one of our set of cameras rather than having to have a totally independent system that might not be as easy to monitor for the police department. And then I've spoken to the town administrator about the $12,000 for bleachers, and that's to make them automated, which allows them to retract and be stored more easily. And the hope is that that both brings us to a more premium tier that is likely to last longer, and also being able to store it easily allows them to, not maintain as much wear, that they can be put away easily. So I'm in support of both of these, but just wanted to give some background so that people who weren't familiar with the particulars heard it.
Thank you for that. Councilmember Wade, your hand is up.
Yeah, just regarding the bleachers, overall, Councilmember Tansey had more of an understanding regarding the cameras. Regarding the bleachers, I'm definitely not looking to dip into a higher deficit, especially with what we have coming in the next fiscal year. But the importance of, as a person who not only coaches but works with the Boys and Girls Club, as well as other events there, that the automated system will have the long-term effect. Investing in that now, it outweighs the unfortunate aspect of a higher deficit going forward. So we just want to make sure that that's notated from my viewpoint. I yield back.
Thank you for that. Are there any members of the public who want to offer any input on this potential budget adjustment before I ask for a motion? All right, hearing none, Council, and I think I'm going to turn first to Councilmember Tansey to ask if you would like to make a motion.
I move to approve this budget amendment.
These two budget amendments?
These two budget amendments.
Councilmember.
Second.
All right. Well, Briner jumped in there. All right. We're going to give Vice Mayor Briner the second for that. It's been motioned in a second to approve the two budget amendments proposed by the town administrator, totaling It's a tough number to add. I think it's 41,400, but our math teacher can verify that. Is there any discussion from the council? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Any opposed say no. Any abstentions? The motion is adopted 6-0. The 2 budget adjustments are approved. That takes us to the next item on the agenda, which is the annexation resolution. I'm going to read the charter amendment resolution, or a fair summary thereof, and then I have a few comments to make about it, and then invite the council to, we'll invite some discussion with the public and the council, I think, on this item. So the proposal here is a resolution, charter amendment resolution 1-26, because it'll be adopted, hopefully not. It will not be adopted this calendar year. It would, if you all choose to adopt it, be adopted in 2026. Charter Amendment Resolution 1-26, a charter amendment resolution of the Town Council of Cheverly, enlarging the corporate boundaries of the town of Cheverly by annexing it into the corporate limits of the town of Cheverly, lands contiguous and adjoining to the town's existing corporate boundaries, property commonly known as Hospital Hill, consisting of approximately 44.1867 acres of land in total, located generally in the Hospital Hill area, also known as the old hospital site. There are several attachments there too. Unless someone objects, I think that's a fair reading of the resolution. I will now go into a couple comments and then invite others. So basically, for the public's consumption, this is a pretty cut and dry process, or a cut and dry annexation. It's as simple an annexation as one gets, and it is an effort by the town of Cheverly to bring into the corporate limits all of the land that remains outside of the Cheverly corporate limits, but is east of the BW Parkway. And essentially, it is only the land that is not already in Cheverly that is commonly known as Hospital Hill, or what I'm calling Cheverly Hill. I hope that we all call Cheverly Hill. This is not without controversy. We have been down a long road with a neighboring municipality and with the county and the state on this. We remain, I think, it remains our intention to stay in partnership and collaboration with the county and the state and the development team, which of course is a private company that's been employed by the property owner, who also happens to be Prince George's County. So this land is owned by the county and is obviously of importance to the county. And so for both of those reasons, they are a critical partner. Of course, our state partners have been involved from the beginning, even when it was an operating hospital, and remain at the table. So it's really, I really see this as a four-way partnership moving forward. This is not, council, I will say, without controversy or without consternation among some decision makers outside of the town. There are a number of parts of this development project that will be coming down the pike over the next year, and one of those big elements will be a tax agreement that this mayor and council will need to enter into if this land is inside the town. And if it's not, then the county will need to enter into with the developer in order to make the project financially viable. And so I want to be transparent with the public and the council that introducing this resolution in December of 2025 is going to ruffle a few feathers among decision makers and watchers in the county and in the state. It is my intention to continue again in dialogue and collaboration with the other three legs of this stool, Cheverly being the fourth, in order to end up with a dynamic, exciting project that is in the town of Cheverly. So I don't want to say that this is without controversy, because it is not. It is not without consternation. It is not going to not ruffle feathers. It is going to ruffle a few feathers out there. I'll stop there and invite anyone from the public or from the council to comment. And then I'm going to ask Mr. Deloach to clarify if we need to vote to introduce or need to vote to have the first reader on this, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. Are there any public or council comments? Not hearing any comments from the public. Mr. Galloway or Mr. Deloach, can you clarify whether this is introduced or read as is, or does the council need to vote because it's a charter amendment?
It's just a reader. I mean, you're just introducing it and reading it. You don't have to vote to have a reader or anything like that. If that's what you're asking, if that's your question.
Yeah, I think it was. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. That was my guess, but I didn't want to guess. Yep. Council, this does John, why don't you go and then I'll talk. Don't let me move on before I mention the timeline that I envision the council pursuing for this endeavor. Go ahead.
I guess my question is that as this process goes through, if someone comes forward with a concern, oh, well, you didn't say this, or you didn't bring this document, does it reset? Does the timeline reset? Do we have to read it again? Do we have to do 3 readers again after the process? Does it start again? I guess is my question.
I would have to defer to Mr. Deloach about that. I mean, there is, I think your question is what is legally required. I will just say from the council standpoint, you all have the process, you all have the power to stop or reverse or simply pause the march of this towards adoption at any time. So if you want to, well, you can stop it, you can roll it back, you can jump back a step, you can nix the whole thing midway. Politically, you have that power. I'll let Mr. Deloach speak about the legal requirements.
Depends on whether or not there was a substantive error that tainted the process. Okay, I mean an error that of a magnitude that would legally taint the entire process, and so it's a maybe is the answer. It depends. If we didn't dot an I, no. But if we did something to violate the statute on annexation, then that may be big enough where we start the introduction process over again. I hope that answers your question. Okay.
For now.
All right. Are there any other questions at this point before or should I go in with the timeline? Any other questions or comments?
Mayor, I got a comment.
Yes.
Quick. No, I just want to make sure I'm clear. This is something that's near and dear. As always, I've mentioned several times, this affects Ward 1 in many ways, more than humbly seeing some other parts of our beloved town. I ran on this. I ran on the fact of annexation, smart economic development. As you mentioned, Mayor, there are 4 legs to this process. The state, including the elected officials, as well as the county staff, as well as elected officials, the developers, and us as a whole. My mindset and goal is to make sure that all parties are in alignment, that are in support. I believe that is something that can and hopefully will happen. Just hope that we are all cognitive of those particular four legs, as you mentioned, and to make sure that, not saying that all people are satisfied in every single way, but there is a level of a true partnership in how we do this. But I truly believe it is vital for us to annex this particular property when the proper time permits itself, and the partnerships are at best fulfilled to bring it into the town of Cheverly. So I look forward to continuing this process. It's a long time waiting, and look forward to those particular discussions going forward. Yield back.
All right, thank you. I will just say on timeline, this kind of annexation could be done pretty quickly as far as annexations are done. I would like us to, because there's no residents on the parcels that are being annexed, and because the owner of all of the parcels that are being annexed is a government. My intention as the mayor is not to take advantage of that and not to proceed quickly with the rollout of this process. So I'll be a little bit imprecise about the timing, but a municipality could try to do this quickly, could try to do this very quietly, probably could roll this up in 3 or 4 months. My intention, and I invite you to, I hope that you will all agree, is to do this transparently, to have many sessions on this. I believe we are going to have a public hearing on January 8th for this specific purpose, to hear from the public, and to do this very slowly, slower than the process requires. My vision is, and I plagiarized this from Mr. Galloway, but I want to take responsibility for it. Don't want to put responsibility for it on him. My vision would be that this would be finalized and legalized by midsummer. That's the kind of long timeline that I'm envisioning in order to make sure that all of the partnerships are locked solid, that if, as I suspect, we will need a tax agreement, if I'm right and we need a tax agreement, that we can consider that and bring that to the public and adopt that and agree to that. And if the desire is to do that before we finalize the annexation, that there's enough months in there to do that. I don't, at the risk of being repetitive, I'll just say we're not trying to do this quickly. We're not trying to do it quietly. And we're trying to do it hand in hand with our 3 partners. But as I said, and again, I don't want to undercut my own initiative here, but doing this will ruffle a few feathers. I think it's worth it, but that's, but I say that as in the debate portion as a member of the council, and I invite others as well as other members of the public at this time to step forward if you would like to make any final comments. All right, hearing none, then as I said, we are going to proceed very slowly on this. This may be on the second reader will likely, I think, not be on a January agenda. So don't be surprised if it's not. I believe Mr. Galloway will confirm later, but I believe we do have a public hearing on the books for January. And again, in the spirit of being collaborative, but that's you're going to see a lot of engagements on it, but you will not see a rapid movement unless the council disagrees with me. Hearing no further comments on that, I will go back to the meeting agenda.
Mayor, you do have a hand raised, Ms. Salo.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. Ms. Salo, go ahead. Your name and ward, and you have 3 minutes. I can't see her. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. Go ahead.
Here we go. It takes a while. I just wanted to mention that on the resolution itself, which you just had read a fair summary of, on the last page, I guess it is. It does say that a public hearing will be held at 7 o'clock on the 8th of January, 2026. So I guess it's official.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
That's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. So maybe I was the only one who didn't read that part. So yes, 7 o'clock on the 8th will be a public hearing, and there may be more if council would like or the public would like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for pointing that out.
Well,
yeah.
Mayor, can I fast?
Yes, sir.
Regarding the 7 o'clock time, just want to make sure that will give us a 30-minute window, right? Because our town meeting is right after that at 7:30, correct?
Yes, sir. Obviously, we'll continue the public hearing as long as needed, and we will start the meeting at the conclusion of the public hearing. But I don't think we can move the time at this point because it's probably been legally advertised. Mr. Galloway?
No problem.
Is that right?
That is correct.
So if we need to, obviously, we're not going to cut folks off, or maybe it's not obvious, but I'll just say we're not going to cut folks off if they are lined up, so to speak, to provide input at the public hearing. We will continue with the public hearing and start the meeting late if need be.
All right. Thank you. That was my question. I appreciate it.
Yes, because that is the night of our January town meeting. It is very early in January. Okay, moving on from that item then is the budget calendar, and I think this goes to Mr. Galloway.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, in front of you today, you will have the budget calendar for fiscal year 27. Budget season just comes around so fast every year, right? Just walking you through it real quick. Friday, January the 31st, the department heads' budgets are due to me. Monday, February the 24th, the mayor and council budget priorities are due to me. So, mayor and council, whatever priorities you have, please get those over to us by that deadline so that we can do our due diligence and cost estimates, etc. Early March, that's when we usually receive a memo from the county and the state regarding our constant yield assessments. The very first budget meeting that we will have will be Thursday, March 20th, and that will be the mayor and council budget, revenue, general government, and administrative. On Thursday, April 3rd, the department budget review will consist of the police department, and the public works department budget review will be on April the 17th. On May 1st, we anticipate doing an all departments review. And if we need to have a constant yield tax hearing, that date will be on May 6th. And one last final budget review or meeting will be on Wednesday, May 7th, with the first reader being on Thursday, May 8th, second reader being on Thursday, May 22nd, and the final reader and adoption being on Thursday, June the 12th. Are there any questions about this?
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do you feel comfortable voting to adopt this calendar or simply thumbs upping this calendar? Any objections?
No objection for me.
I'm seeing nothing but thumbs ups. Cool. So I think, Mr. Galloway, we are good to go. This is a great pre-holiday reminder for residents to be in touch with your council member and me about your spending and your revenue priorities for the coming fiscal year. All good? All good?
All good.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the town administrator's report.
Okay. Mayor and Council, I forwarded to you earlier all of the staff reports, along with a memo earlier regarding item number one, and that is the pre-application meeting at 5801 Annapolis Road. Just to give some high-level overview points, the pre-application neighborhood meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, January the 14th at 6:30 p.m. Just so that you all know, the property was previously owned by the RDA and originally proposed for a hotel and restaurant. The current owner is proposing has proposed a revised plan, including the main development of two of townhomes. If you all recall, they came and spoke to the mayor and council in a work session, and if he wasn't here, I can invite them to come back and have a discussion. Tomorrow, I will be meeting with the developer along with the mayor and Attorney Pounds to figure out if their plan has changed and to get more details. Look forward to giving the mayor and council an update after that meeting. Are there any questions as it relates to 5801 Annapolis Road?
Yes, Mr. Galloway. How many townhomes did you mention? You say?
I don't remember what the number of townhomes were. And if I said a number earlier, I'm sorry, I got tongue twisted.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I had a
Vice Mayor.
question. Yeah. Do we know if they have made any changes based on the feedback we gave them the last time we met with them about their plans?
They haven't indicated to me that they have. But definitely want to ask those questions tomorrow in the meeting.
Great, thank you.
Okay, next item as it relates to the gym floors. We have installed new gym floors by CCA Flooring and Interiors. The gym will reopen on Monday at approximately 7 p.m. TKA will be the first class to use the gym. And then it will be open for the rest of the basketball season. Now, I know that there are some concerns as it relates to the three-point line and placement of the out of bounds. I share those same concerns and have been sharing those same concerns for over a week now. But I will be meeting with the vendor first thing in the morning. They've indicated to me that they have some solutions to provide to me. I want to be careful and cautious at the same time. I don't want our major investment to look like it's used already. So I am going to scrutinize the solutions that they present to me and make the decisions accordingly. But I do look forward to the usage of the new floors is brightening up the actual entire space. And once we get finished with the padding and the floors, it's going to look like a brand new place. So I'm excited about it, but want to get through these concerns first. If your kid wears a size 10 or 12 and they're playing basketball and they're shooting a three from the side, sorry, but they're going to be out of bounds unless they're stepping on their tippy toes. So we've got to get that corrected. So just wanted to make sure you all are aware of that. Any questions right now as it relates to that?
Unfortunately, Mr. Galloway, my internet just cut out and I missed that update. Can you tell me what the 3-point line status is?
I'm having a meeting with the vendor in the morning to discuss the solutions.
Okay, good.
Okay. Former Walgreens property, Mayor and Council, just letting you all know, the town was awarded $225,000 in state business development funds from DHCD. The original business that I wrote the grant up for withdrew from the project, so we had to work to identify a new tenant rather than return the funds to the state. An interested party is pursuing the lease of the former Walgreens property, and those details will remain confidential right now. until the lease is finalized, but the funds would support the eligible reconstruction and improvements per the grant. I do look forward to this type of usage for the area, as you know, we would get a big bang for our buck for the type of uses that could potentially be there. So hopefully at a later date, I'll be able to make an announcement as to what type of business this will be. But just please know that we're working to exhaust the funds that have been awarded to us from the state. Any questions as it relates to that? Okay. Mayor and Council, earlier this week, I met with Torino and JLL. Torino now happens to be the new owner of the Craftsman Building. The discussion focused on leasing the building to U.S. Secret Service. I indicated to Torino that there were some community concerns and some concerns along with the mayor and council regarding the immigration, customs, and enforcement and how they could potentially occupy this building. The owner indicated to me that Secret Service would be the only entity and that immigration, customs, and enforcement would not enter. And they, in fact, indicated that they would be willing to put in their lease to the government that ICE will not be eligible to, come on the property or do any type of business there. So they did indicate that as it relates to the workings of the building. They also indicated that they have another building that they have leased to Secret Service that they would be willing to have the mayor and council go there to look at how that business is operating so that you can see how Secret Service runs their shop. As it relates to further discussion, I wanted to press the button on their buttons on the bike trail easement. They indicated to me that they would be willing to do a bike trail easement in exchange for assistance with leasing efforts. And that's a discussion that we can have in a different type of session about this matter. But they've indicated to me that bike trail leasing was on the floor for discussion for this project. Are there any questions about this? I'll answer what I can, and if I can't, then we can talk about those in executive session.
Councilmember Fry.
I don't really have a question per se, Mr. Galloway. I think I've made it expressly clear to you that I do not want them, any portion of Homeland Security coming to or that close to the town of Cheverly, considering we've had ICE in town yesterday, apprehending people and really doing the damage that that this administration is setting out to do to cause fear, and immediately seeing the results of that. What we see in this administration is that there are no rules, so they can come in and say, here's our contract, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. At any point, they can change their mind and we would be stuck. So I don't want to put us into that position. I don't even want to risk it at all. I don't want to go and visit one of their sites. None of it. So I thank you for bringing this to the meeting to discuss it, for the community to know what is trying to come close to us. We already know that there was like a federal, I guess like a RFP, I don't know what you call it, where they were looking for office space within a 5-mile radius of Hyattsville. What happens in those office spaces of processing these immigrants in our community is because they're backed up, they detain them for 24, 48, 72 hours in these office spaces. So while they say they're not doing any kind of detainments, they are. So to that vein, whatever they're telling us they're going to do in this space, because it's a very big space and it would make for a very nice detainment center. for them, close to all the activity that they're wanting to do. So I'm adamantly opposed. Going on the record, adamantly opposed. So please, whatever we need to do to make sure that the community is aware that this is trying to come close to us, I think that we need to do.
Okay. I just wanted to share that as a point of information for the mayor and council, and then ultimately it's going to be up to you all if we move forward with it or not. So just wanted to make you all aware of that.
Thank you for that.
As it relates to loud music, I know there have been a lot of complaints about loud music over the course of the past month and a half. The initial suspected violator was not responsible for the loud music the previous two times. There was an issue involves individuals setting up large speakers for impromptu music events. The town continues to coordinate with Prince George's County Police Department, and we will enforce what we can within our town's jurisdiction. But anytime you hear that the music, the speakers, etc., please call 911 and get it on record so that they can respond. Are there any questions or comments as it relates to that? And the last thing that I have is I am working with the state's attorney's office to scheduling an expungement fair. We have a tentative date set for March the 28th. We've done this in the past as it relates to an expungement fair, and it was very successful. This is a turnkey operation where we just give them access to the gym, and then they set up and do their thing. The town's not really involved with it. The only thing that we do is open the facility, and they come in and run their operation there. So it's a tentative date of March the 28th. And that's all I have for my report, Mayor and Council. Are there any questions for me?
Council, any questions? Vice Mayor Briner.
I don't have a question, Mayor. I was wondering if I could be excused from the meeting because I am not feeling well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody.
Good night.
Vice Mayor Briner. That is 8:56. Okay.
One thing I want to say before getting off my report, Mayor and Council, tonight is my town clerk's birthday, what the day is. So I do want to wish Giselle Richards the happiest of happy birthday, and I hope she is having a great day. So that concludes the report.
Thank you. Please pass the same on from all of us for Clerk Richards. All right. I think that concludes the town administrator's report. So that takes us to the police departments.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see everybody, at least virtually. Mr. Mayor, the police department submitted a report through Mr. Galloway for the mayor and council's review. So I'm just going to kind of hit some of the highlights. One of the important things is personnel, staffing, and training. We have hired an additional 2 officers. They will be sworn in January. That will bring our total complement to 18 officers once the 2 that are currently in training, both in the comparative compliance as well as the recruit training class, graduate. That should be in February and March, respectively. I want to ask the town to join Deputy Chief Krause and I in congratulating Sergeant Blunt on his graduation as a member of the 296th session of the FBI National Academy. He graduated last Thursday. The Deputy Chief and I had the opportunity to go down to Quantico and participate in the graduation of Sergeant Blunt. It's important to note that, one, that's less than 1% of all law enforcement officers around the world, because it is an international program. Less than 1% of all law enforcement officers around the world have the opportunity to participate in the FBI National Academy. So that's prestigious in and of itself. And Sergeant Blunt is the first Cheverly police officer in the history of the Cheverly Police Department to participate in the program as a Cheverly police officer. And I'm also proud to announce that he earned the much coveted yellow brick. For those that don't know what the yellow brick is, it's symbolizing his successful completion of the final fitness challenge known as the Yellow Brick Road. I can absolutely attest to the fact that it is better than a 6-mile, extremely grueling fitness challenge, and he did exceptionally well and came back all in one piece. So we're thankful for that. So please join the Deputy Chief and I in congratulating Sergeant Blunt when you see him. Ask him to show you the brick, because I think he's carrying it around in a backpack. Not to be outdone, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Deputy Chief Kraus. She's pursuing her advanced degree with Purdue University, and she submitted over 500 pages of documents with regards to her life experience as a police officer, as a baker, and a correctional officer, and her life experience in total, and received a record-setting 97 credits from Purdue University towards her degree. Purdue indicated that is the highest number of credits they've ever awarded in the history of that program. So certainly want to commend the deputy chief on that prestigious achievement. And just moving quickly through some traffic safety initiatives. After the Ward 4 meeting earlier this week, Mr. Mayor, and then receiving feedback from them, we've initiated an additional traffic enforcement on Columbia Park. Of course, we do have the red light camera, at least one red light camera on Columbia Park that's operating on the eastbound Route 50 ramp onto Columbia Park. It is operational, and the police department's command staff met on site with an ultimate representative last week, probably on the coldest day of the week, but we walked the roadway there to look at further implementation strategies. And to close out the patrol and traffic initiatives, we are working in concert with WMATA, Prince George's County Police Department's District 1, PD's WAVE, which is their auto theft unit, to address the increased number of theft from autos that we're seeing, not just in the town, but throughout the area. But most importantly, we've had 2 recent incidents, and they'll be detailed in the newsletter that's going out next month, where it was the quick thinking residents that saw something that didn't look right. They contacted the police, and we were able to get on the scene rather swiftly and make several apprehensions of individuals as they were either breaking into or scoping out the cars. So we encourage our residents to continue to call 911 when they see something suspicious. That's how we make our community safe. As far as community engagement, remind everyone that on Saturday we have the Santa parade. So the police department, fire department, public works will be out on Saturday going through the town. So if you hear a lot of sirens and you see a jolly individual that's on top of the fire truck dressed in a red suit, it's just the CPD and Public Works and the fire department going through. We have various stops throughout the town that have already been identified, and we'll get that information out to the families, so that if they want their children to come by and visit with Santa, we'll certainly make it a happy holiday for them. And last but not least, behind the police department, for anyone that's interested, particularly families with young children, you're welcome to visit our holiday play place. It's for children age 6 and under. It's not supervised, so we ask parents to be back there with their children if they decide to take advantage of it. But that was all done under the creative direction of Deputy Chief Kraus, and we warmly encourage families to participate in those holiday festivities. And that would conclude the police department's report on my end. I'll turn it over to the Deputy Chief in case I missed anything. You're muted, Jen.
Chief, you didn't miss the thing. I might have missed the first part. But no, the holiday play place, I hope everybody comes out and enjoys it. it's something that we did as a team effort, and I think that the younger children, we scared all the older children, so we wanted to do something for the younger kids in town. So hopefully people come out, and we saw a few the other day, and hope to see some more throughout the holiday season.
Thank you for that. And I will just quickly say before I turn to the council, my gratitude and the gratitude of a number of neighbors on the border between Ward 4 and Ward 2. And I think particular thanks here goes to Deputy Chief Kraus for rescuing a vulnerable senior who was in a difficult situation in their home. And that individual is now receiving medical care. It could have been a very different outcome had our CPD and particularly the deputy chief not done what she did for this individual. That individual, as I say, is now getting medical care, and a care plan, long-term care plan, is being put together with that individual's family. And it is now possible to see a good outcome to the situation, thanks to you. So thank you for that again. And council, do you have any questions or comments for the police department?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate the fact of just thanking the police department, especially during this holiday time, for just the level of engagement that they're doing it throughout the community. Even shouting out them for the tots, Toys for Tots. I know they took. Unfortunately, I tried to get over there in time, but I couldn't. But thank you all for taking the students at Gladys Noon Spellman over, I believe it was to Walmart. Apologize, it wasn't there, but for taking it over there for people who are less fortunate and allowing them to experience Christmas in ways they normally probably would not be able to. So thank you again for your leadership and efforts.
We're just going to sort of say the same thing. I mean, I really enjoyed the shop with a cop last week, and also it's really great to see Chief Morris back here and right where he belongs. And but yeah, I really enjoyed shop with a cop, and as I think both Mayor Watson and I say, if you have to get around town, throwing lights and sirens is the way to go. So, yeah, so great to have our Chev PD out there, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with Dano on Saturday too.
Any further questions or comments? All right, hearing none, thank you very much, Chief and Deputy Chief. And the floor now goes to Mr. Brayman.
Good evening. Thank you again, Mr. Mayor and Council and Town of Cheverly. Couple points. We successfully mobilized for 2 weather events so far this year on December 2nd and December 14th. I feel like we did a pretty good job. Hopefully that's feedback on what you've observed as well. Along with those inclement weather-related events, we had some leaf delays. As you know, when leaves get wet and or snow on top of them, it caused us to fall a little bit behind on our schedule. I'm pleased to say as of today, we were up to schedule, and we will be continuing to keep up with the schedule, weather permitting. Do appreciate the residents working with us when we publish that we have to reschedule a little bit. It seems to be working out pretty well, at least from what I understand. On the FEMA earmark update, as you may recall, it was some time ago when a big check was presented to us all. There's a lot of paperwork that goes with us. I like to say next time we ought to hand them the paperwork to get out before we take the pictures. But we've made progress. And so for a time, I don't know why, possibly with an administration change, the earmark was paused, but now we are processing a subaward agreement with the Maryland Department of Emergency Management, also known as MDEM. So FEMA and MDEM, and they're the ones who are managing the funds from FEMA for this flood mitigation project. We're anticipating that once this agreement is fully processed through MDEM, that we will receive a notice to proceed. And so we hope in the not too distant future, we'll have updates for you on some progress being made on that. The pilot food compost program update. The program is ending through the grant funding on December 31st, 2025. In order to give us time for consideration, the Department of Public Works is planning to cover the cost for the month of January 2026. That's approximately $1,700 to allow the program to continue for an additional month. We're developing a decision paper to bring forward to you in January to have you review it and help with a decision being made on various funding options. And lastly, the fall tree planting program has commenced. 82 trees are being planted throughout the town. 50 of those street trees were funded through the Chesapeake Bay Trust Grant, which Dr. Tolbert Feather this year actually spearheaded for us. And 29 trees were requested by residents through our private tree program. And actually, we had 3 residents request 3 street trees. Sometimes we run into residents not wanting the street tree. We've had some feedback earlier this week. I do want to let you know we do notify all the residents. I think we had 18 deferrals, as we like to call it. But sometimes we do not get a response. But once they see the tree and being placed or being right now, they're just being placed to be planted. That does spark some feedback, and so I think we've had 2 additional referrals once they've seen the tree show up, and we've been able to accommodate those deferrals. We do encourage people to want street trees as well as private trees. Long ago, I said that I don't have the exact count, but I think we're well on our way, if not past the 1,000 trees within 10 years. We may even be able to get 2,000 trees within 10 years at this rate. And this is just the fall tree planting program. So I'm open to any questions on that that anybody may have.
Anyone? All right, go ahead, Mr. Bremen.
Well, that concludes my report. I'm sorry, I should have said I'm open to questions.
Oh, that's okay.
Any aspect of my report.
Did you have any anything you wanted to add to the public announcement about the leaf collection?
Well, we added a public, last week we changed some dates and we added Saturday. We successfully completed most of Saturdays. We had to circle back this week. Crest had a lot of leaves. And so I believe Dewey was the only street that we were unable to get to. We did get to that earlier this week, and I'm pleased to report that we are up to date as of today. So tomorrow's collection, we anticipate being able to keep up to date. And so everybody should be following the published schedule that is on the website. If for some reason we do need to add some dates or shift some dates, we will put out a news and announcement on that. Does that answer your question, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I saw the announcement and I wanted to make sure we were all tracking it. So thank you. Council, any questions for the Public Works Department? Okay, thank you, Mr. Bremen.
Thank you very much.
That takes us to the agenda and future items. I have, again, our next meeting is the 8th of January, 2026. It will be the town meeting. And the only item that I have for sure for action on the agenda is a resolution to appoint 2 election supervisors. In addition, that night will be the public hearing or another public hearing on the charter amendment annexation resolution. Are there any other agenda items that any of you are tracking for January 8th? Okay, and then for the 22nd, which is our work session, I have the policy committee. I think was going to try to meet and provide a readout of their work. I have 5701 Landover Road, and I have a discussion about how to move forward on looking at and updating our strategic plan. Does anyone else have anything for at this point, I know it's a month away, but at this point for the January 22nd work session? John, is your hand up?
Approached by former Councilmember Coolin about she would like to bring a discussion to the work session in January about the bottle bill.
Okay. Yeah, I think this, I'm going to write bottle bill down. I think what this might be is a short discussion about any Maryland General Assembly initiatives that any council member wants to bring forward for the council or the town or the council as a group to support or oppose. Again, the impetus here was a request from a Ward 2 resident and former Ward 2 council member regarding the bottle bill, which we expect to be introduced again. But I think it could be a broader discussion about any initiatives that anyone wants the town to take up versus any individual advocacy.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, thank you for that. Any additional items at this time? All right. Hearing none, that takes us to mayor and council announcements. Would anyone like to kick it off for tonight? Okay, not hearing any. I will start and just say, remind everyone that the town is closed and there will be no pickup services on Thursday the 25th and Friday the 26th of December. And again, on Thursday the 1st of January. Those are town holidays. The office is closed. There are no pickups. Thursday pickups disproportionately entirely affect the east side because the west side doesn't get pickups on Thursdays. So Mr. Galloway's team will be announcing service compensations going out. Of course, that does not mean your police department is not working. Your police department is working how many hours a day? 24 hours a day, 7 days, 365. So if you need them, please call 911 under any circumstances and let them triage your call. They are available all the time, every day, holiday, snow, rain. 911 is the number. Other than that, happy holidays and thanks to everyone for your patience and for participating. And again, happy birthday to our town clerk. Council members, do you have any announcements? Going once? Going twice? Okay, hearing none, that takes us to the final item on the agenda, which is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Ooh, okay. There's been a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? By Councilmember Garces, is there a second?
Second.
That motion.
We're going to put Councilmember Fry down as the second for that. Under discussion, I will just say when we adjourn, council, let's take a 5-minute break, and then we will reconvene for the open to close session. Is there any debate, further debate of the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Any abstentions? The motion passes 5-0. Good night, everyone, and we will see you back in 5 minutes on the other link. Have a good night.
Good night.